Breathing. It's important. It's the most vital thing you do. And if you don't believe me, go ahead, try and stop. You came into this life with one big inhale, and you will most likely exit with an exhale. So as you came out of your mother's womb and into this realm, you took a big breath in. And as most people do, when you leave this realm, you'll take a big breath out, or at least a breath out. Funny how you breathe in when you enter this world or this realm, and you exhale, you breathe out as you exit this realm. Inhale in, exhale out. So it's obvious breathing is our vital life source. And breathing, or the word breath, has many terms or names all around the world. There are also many practices associated with breathing or breath work. In the Hindu philosophy, it's known as Prana. And Prana is from Sanskrit, which directly translates to life force, vital principle, or vital life force. Understanding what Prana is and how it works is like being given a key. And this key unlocks new levels of health and well-being, both inside and out. The concept of a life force is found in many cultures all over the world. In China, it's known as Qi. The Japanese call it Ki, and the Hawaiians call it Mana. In the Bible it says, "And Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." So this breath that is talked about in so many different cultures and has so many different names for it is the essence of life. Breathing is the most fundamental thing that we do to stay alive. But because most of us breathe on an unconscious level for the majority of the time, we don't put too much thought into actually breathing on a day-to-day basis, right? But we do also breathe consciously all the time, right? I bet right now as you're listening to me talking about breathing, you probably started consciously thinking about your breathing. Now, not having to think about our breathing all the time is quite convenient, especially when we're sleeping. Also, when we want to swim in the water and we need to hold our breath and control it at that point in time, it makes it quite convenient, doesn't it? So there's a reason we do it on a conscious level and also an unconscious level. So because breathing is our very life force and carries with it the essence that we need to live, it's important to understand how breathing affects our lives. Now, there are many types of breathing practices when it comes to controlling our breath or our life force. You may have even heard of some of them. Some of them include Tai Chi, Qigong, or even Reiki. All are different practices associated with controlling the life force within us, and all incorporate breath work to do so. Now, when we breathe in, we take in this life force, and as we exhale the discharge, whatever's left from taking in the life force, using it, and then sending out what it is that we don't need. In scientific terms, this is also known as taking in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. So my plants here can also live, right? Life really is just one big circle of energy transferring from one form to the next when you actually think about it. So in my recent videos, we covered how all things are connected and how you are literally a god that controls your own environment and gets to make your own decisions. And through your thoughts, actions, and emotions, you actually shape your reality, your environment around you. So with this knowledge, we are going to start to incorporate different ways to improve our lives, to help us become the best version of ourselves and live up to our full potential. So the basics is understanding what we truly are and how to use that wisdom that's been bestowed upon us to create a life full of happiness, vitality, love, and abundance. So in my opinion, this all starts with the breath. After all, if we came into this life with a breath and we leave with a breath, we should know how to use our breath properly. Now, when you came into this world as a baby, as long as you were for the most part healthy, you had a proper breathing technique. And this breathing technique was done mostly at the unconscious level. And you had little to worry about as a baby, right? You maybe had to worry about food, love, basic necessities, comfort, little things. Now, as you got older, life became a bit harder. Through school, work, or simple pressures that life puts us through, you slowly found yourself in more and more stressful situations. And that's okay, right? That's how life works for the most part. There's obviously a healthy amount and an unhealthy amount. But that's how growth works, right? We undergo stressful situations and we overcome them to become stronger. So as a baby, you were a deep belly breather. If any of you have ever watched a baby sleep, you'll notice it pushes out its stomach very, very far. It takes a big, deep breath in. As it does this, the stomach goes out. It opens up the diaphragm and the lungs as big as possible so it can take this deep breath and pull in as much oxygen or vital life force as it possibly can. Now, have you ever seen somebody when they're really stressed out or sad or angry? They start to experience this shortness of breath, right? They have shallow breathing. Their heart rate increases, their blood pressure probably increases, and this all is normally due to the fact that they're in a stressful situation. And for the most part, this is normal and this is okay. We all experience this from time to time. So the issue is doing this for 20 to 30 years without ever consciously thinking about how we're breathing is where the problem lies. We're essentially depriving ourselves of a vital life source because we're never consciously thinking about our breathing. Anytime we undergo a massive amount of stress, or we have a panic attack, or some type of really anything that produces anxiety within us, if we can consciously focus on our breathing and take the control back and breathe in more of that vital life force, it's going to assist us and just overall give us a better outlook and heal us actually. So again, as a baby, you already had this technique down. You were a deep belly breather right from the womb. It wasn't until the pressures of life got to you and I that our breathing habits slowly started to change. We didn't pull in, or we don't pull in as much vital life force as we could, really just because we're not consciously thinking about our breathing all the time. The issue is the conscious mind has completely neglected the task. Most people aren't aware of how they're breathing or how they can change their breathing to better assist them in life. So what we want to do is bring back that power to the conscious mind. We need to become aware of our internal processes and how they affect us. Once we are aware of that, we can consciously think in any given situation on how to improve our state of being. And this is also going to retrain the unconscious mind. So by consciously thinking about it in these situations that we undergo, our unconscious mind will then be better equipped to handle this, and we won't be affected as much by the pressures that life throws at us. Now, how do we do this? Deep, proper, mindful breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose. Don't be a mouth breather, right? There's a reason Elle or 11 from Stranger Things calls the stupid people mouth breathers. When you focus on controlling your breathing with deep abdominal breathing, the biochemistry of your body changes. Natural levels of serotonin, which are responsible for mood balance, and endorphins, which are natural stress fighters, rise and aid the body in balancing itself when it comes to mood and just the overall homeostasis of the body. Now I'm going to teach you guys a breathing technique that is also a visualization technique. This is also taught in many different breathwork organizations, yoga, all kinds of different things like that. And it goes like this. Anytime you take a deep breath in, do this. Concentrate on all the beautiful things in life. With that breath, you're going to take in an abundance of love, vital life force, and healing energy. And use that energy anywhere that it needs to go. And you can think about anything that is beautiful to you in life. Anything that you hold dear and you cherish, whatever brings you happy and joy, think of those things as you take the deep breath in. And also, as you breathe in and you're breathing in this happiness, think of things that you may think that at this point in time that you're lacking in life. If you don't feel love, breathe in the feeling of love. If you feel incomplete, breathe in that feeling of completeness. If you feel lonely, breathe in that feeling of connectedness. Whatever it is, breathe it in. Now, after you've taken this big breath in, you're obviously going to take a big breath out. And here we're going to do the opposite. We're going to breathe out all the things that are not serving us, all the attachments that prevent us from being who we are. We're going to breathe those things out. So that means all the negative thought patterns, all the traumas that you've endured, anything that you haven't forgiven yourself or someone else for, any resentment or attachment that is not serving you in this life. On the exhale, you're going to think about those things and release those things with the breath. So breathe in life, exhale death. And you can do this as many times a day as you possibly want. I would recommend doing it 5 minutes in the morning when you get up first thing, and then maybe 5 minutes at night to help you kind of relax and decompress. I personally start my day with 20 to 30 breaths like this. It just really helps you start the day and set the mood, set the intention for all the things that you're going to accomplish. This will absolutely help you if you experience anxiety or a massive amount of stress from time to time. Those of you that work a grueling job, do this anytime you have free time. When I used to work the 9 to 5, I would do this on my last break, at least for 7 to 10 minutes. Anytime you're having a hard time, no matter what it is, even if you're on the job at that very moment, and you can actually think about your breath for a second, if you just do this a couple times a day, or specifically give, like I said, like a break in the morning, evening, midday, whatever it is, set aside time to do this during your shift, and it will really help you get through it. It's going to immediately regulate your heart rate and get your blood pressure under control. Now, for those of you that are like, I'm too busy for that, man. I can't just take time out of my day to focus on breathing. I got a life. I got things to do. I can't set aside that time. Well, I know you at least do this. You at least take a shower. Well, at least I hope you do, right? The shower is actually one of my favorite places to do this, and it actually adds an extra element that even helps the process even more. It's going to give you a visualization technique, and that visualization technique is going to come with the water. As you take that deep breath in, you can also add the water component to the situation. As the water pours down on you, you can think of all the beautiful things, and the water is essentially giving you those beautiful things, right? As you think of love, completeness, connection, visualize the water actually pouring that and raining that down on you. And then the opposite when you exhale. And it doesn't have to be exactly coordinated with the breath. It will definitely help if you do so. But as the water runs off of you, visualize all the attachments, the negative traumas, the things that are holding you back. Visualize the water ripping those away from your being, and you are quite literally born again, or a new you comes out of the shower. So there are countless techniques, practices, and exercises when it comes to breathing. I highly recommend you do some research on your own. There's so much information out there. There's also guaranteed going to be a professional in your area somewhere, whether it's yoga, Tai Chi, just a basic breathing regimen or exercise. There's definitely going to be a lot of information available, and I highly recommend you take a course, sign up for something, or just do some research, watch some videos, and do it yourself. It's really going to help you out. So I'm going to share with you 2 exercises, 2 simple breathing techniques that work great for me. They're very basic, and all of you can do them. So the first one that we're going to do is just a standard normal breath. I call it the 4x4. You're going to do 4 seconds on the inhale and 4 seconds on the exhale. So just 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out. So I'll do it real quick for you. So So 4 in. And 4 out. So that's the first one. It's quite simple, very easy. Everybody can do it. It's just going to give you a nice pace when it comes to breathing, give you a nice steady rate, get your heart rate down a little bit, control the blood pressure also a little bit. It's just a nice, easy-going thing that you can do 24/7. Now, the last technique I'm going to show you is called 4-7-8 breathing. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale for 4 seconds, we're going to hold it for 7 seconds, and then we're going to go double on the exhale. So as we exhale, we're going to take 8 seconds to blow that air out. So we'll do it together. Ready? So we're going to sit back, make sure and you can do this standing up, sitting down, just try to keep your spine nice and straight, chest forward, shoulders back. We're going to open up that diaphragm as much as possible. Remember, out with the belly. Push the belly out as much as we can when we do the inhale, and then inhale, opening up. You can feel your diaphragm actually open up when you go to do it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do it together. Again, that's inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Feels good. So that's the deep, relaxing breathing technique. You can use that anytime that you really are trying to get in a relaxed state. I recommend maybe doing it before bed. Also, if you find yourself in a really stressful situation or something happened and you can tell, just, be conscious of your heart rate and your breathing when you have those really, short, shallow breaths all the time. You might want to do this to go ahead and really relax yourself, and that's really going to help you out. Put all that oxygen in there, all that life force in there, really calm you down and center you and ground you again. So do these exercises on a daily basis if you can. This is going to improve your overall well-being, health, vitality. It's going to regulate your heart rate, your blood pressure, your stress levels, increase your serotonin levels, which are responsible for the mood. All around, it's going to do your body good. So proper breathing mixed with mindfulness. Remember, breathing that life in, exhaling that death. Also using the water component too. This mindfulness, these techniques mixed with the proper breathing is one of the best things that you can do. It's completely free and the benefits are priceless. And we could go into all the different details and aspects when it comes to breath work and what it really does for the mind, body, soul connection, but I don't want to bore you with the details. People make entire careers out of breath work. CEOs, high-level executives use these techniques to help them get throughout their day and overcome any situation. And guys, please feel free, leave some comments below. Let me know what works for you. If you guys have any techniques or styles that you use, I'd love to hear from you. So remember, life starts with a breath and it ends with a breath. Learning to use that to our advantage is one of the most fundamental things, in my opinion, one can do to live life to the fullest. Why isn't this taught in schools? It's a good question. This is just the beginning, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. My name is Brandon. This is my channel, Luminous Creators, where we inspire people to live up to their full potential, to live in abundance, to unlock those God-given powers that they have within, and really, so each and every one of you can realize that you are a beautiful, luminous creator in this universe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment on it, share it. Your guys' support really means the world to me. Thank you so much. I love you all. Hope you have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and light.